Welcome to Houston Relocation Pros. Today we're going to be talking about the importance of owning a home. I was talking to a friend of mine, Monique, the other day, and he was telling me that he didn't want to buy a home because he said that he would never pay the home off. And I was trying to explain to him some of the importance of owning a home, and we're going to get into that today. We're going to do like 1 through 10, and 10 reasons why you should own a home. So let's get into it.
All right. So for me, one of the top reasons to be a homeowner, the benefits of being a homeowner, is because you actually have generational wealth. A lot of times, our community does not own anything, and there's nothing to pass down to your future grandchildren, great grandchildren, so that way they don't have to jump through the hoops and the hurdles of what we had to go through to get a home. It's already inherited for them. So that's my number one.
No, that's a great point. Great point. Number two for me is your interest rate. You can get a fixed interest rate. And what I mean by that is, like I say, I was talking to my friend and he's paying a little over $2,000 right now for his apartment. Now, think about back in, if some of y'all are old enough, think about back in the early 90s, how much we was paying for apartments. I can remember my first apartment being like $400 to $500, right? And now these apartments today are starting off at 2,000 and more. It depends on the area that you're in. So imagine 20 years from now, how much apartment's going to be if he's still renting, right? But if you get a fixed interest rate, you can have that same, pretty much that same payment. Now, you will have taxes. They kind of, taxes can escalate, but it's not going to change your payment as much as someone who's renting an apartment. So, can you add anything to that, Monique?
Yes, so talking about taxes, you actually have tax advantages for being a homeowner. Not only do you get to itemize your interest, you also get to itemize your property taxes. So that's helpful. A lot of times when you are a homeowner, people think, well, I can't afford it because now I have to pay homeowner's insurance and I have to pay property taxes. But that's the benefit, is you get to itemize those.
And what you were saying about, I don't know if I explained it right, but how you were saying how, it's the steps of, how, remember we were talking about it earlier? And you were
About
saying,
as far as the interest rate.
no, when you were saying like far as the payment, how the payment's going to increase.
Oh, so if you are a renter, over time, you're gonna get a yearly increase, whereas if you, as James was touching on, having a fixed interest rate, you're gonna have a steady mortgage payment. But the beauty of also using the amortization schedule, which a lot of people don't realize, is you can have a 30-year loan, but if you pay a little bit extra towards your principal, that helps to knock down those payments. So for example, my parents paid off a 30-year mortgage in 6 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it can be done. So don't let that be a deterrent as to why you don't get a home, because there are so many advantages and different ways that you can knock those payments down and pay off your home early.
All right. What about your third version? Well, third reason, rather.
My other reason would be for equity. As over time, you'll build equity in your home, and if a person like myself wants to move abroad, you have an opportunity to use your equity in your home. You can still keep your house, you can rent it out to have additional rental income. If you have it paid off, even better.
Can you explain equity a little bit
Yes.
more?
So over time, your house accrues what's called equity into your home. It's the value. So if you bought your house for, let's say, 200,000 now, and in 20 years you have, your prices of the home is going to appreciate over time because of the market value. Things that you may put into the home is going to increase the equity. So what you are able to do is use that. If you decide to do a home equity loan, you can use it for a student to pay off, if you're going to college or you have a child that's going to college. You can use that money if you want to buy another property. You can use that as a down payment, even to invest abroad or Airbnb, whatever investment opportunity you would like. And there's no penalty because it's yours.
All right. Okay, number 4 for me is you can sell the home. Like I was telling my friend, you have to live somewhere for the next 20, 30 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying that he didn't want to buy a house because he wasn't going to be able to pay it off. But at the same time, if, like Monique was saying, piggybacking off what she was saying about the equity, let's say in 25 or 20 years you done paid off, let's just say $200,000 of the house, and then you can sell a house, in which homes are always increasing in value. That's another thing that we could touch on a little bit later. But homes are always increasing in value. So if you buy a house right now at 300,000, 20 years later it's going to be worth probably close to $1 million or something like that. So you can always sell a home and then take that money that you make off the home and that use it as a retirement fund. At most people retire around 65, 70 years old. I don't know for sure, but anywhere around that area, I'm definitely you could definitely use 300, 400, even $500,000, put away for your nest egg, add to what social security that you may have, or any kind of savings that you may have. So that's another benefit. You can always sell a home. And
Yep.
number 5, Monique, what do you have?
For you, well, I was gonna add on to yours, what you were talking about, if you pay off your home, it does create a debt-free asset. So that is an amazing thing, because a lot of people at that age still owe a mortgage, or they might still have debt. So that can definitely help their position and also their retirement as additional income, because they can use that money to live off of, or they can invest it in a CD and build even more interest in what a bank or a money market will allow. For my number 6, community roots. A homeowner that is in a home will be living in a place longer than somebody that is a renter. Renters tend to go where the cheapest price is. So you build relationships, you build friendships. If you have kids, your kids have friends in that neighborhood. You have neighborhood ties. You become a
Community, sense of community,
a sense of
family.
family, community roots. You begin to build friendships with even neighborhood or local business owners. Yep.
All right. Number 7 for me is you can still rent out your house. You don't have to sell your home. So you can still have income coming in. Like say you retired and you want to rent out your house. You don't want to sell it. So the same person, like I say, like my friend who was renting that $2,000 a month apartment, someone could be renting your home. Now you will have to screen the renters, because you can get some bad tenants. We'll go over pros and cons in another video, but but you can have some income that's steadily coming in through renters. Especially if you got a nice home. A lot of people want to rent a nice home. A lot of people want to get out of apartments. They don't want people on top of them, on side of them. I was one of those people. So I'm currently in a rental right now, because I'm about to buy next year. So I was one of those people, but I wanted space, I wanted a yard, I wanted to be able to barbecue, I wanted to be able to play my music, things like that. So yeah, you could take your house and you could, you don't have to sell it. You could just rent it and have that income steadily coming in. All right.
Yep. So number 7.
I think that was number 7.
Were you number 7?
Yeah.
I thought it was on 5, and then you did 6. And
No,
then
I think
did
you
7.
did. I think you did 6. Yeah, I think you did 6.
I
That was
think
7.
I think we need to cut the tape.
That was 7. I'm telling you, that was 7.
Because I was on number 5.
I was
And then
on
you
number
did
5 when you
6.
came into number 5.
Because okay,
Then
you
you said
did
number
1,
6.
right? And then I did 2.
Okay.
No,
Now we
I
got
did 1, you did 2, and then
She
I
messed
did
it
3, and then you did 4, and then I did 5. See, I was right. I was on 5. Because I think I just look on the tape. Because I think I said am I. Okay. So number 5. Number 5 is going to be okay. Number 5 is community roots. A lot of times when a person owns a home, they tend to build a community. They build relationships, friendships. They become, known by local business owners. I feel that when you are renting, you tend to look you tend to move around more because you're always trying to find the best deal. So you don't really establish those type of relationships. So community roots would be number 5.
All right. Number 6 is selling. You can always sell your home. Like I was telling my friend, he was saying he didn't want to buy a home because he felt like he wasn't going to be able to pay it off. But let's just say 20 years you've been in your home and you got 20 years of equity, like Monique was talking about earlier. And not only that, is your home is going to be worth more in 20 years than it is now. So let's just say you buy a home right now for, let's just say 300,000. And 20 years from later, that same home is going to be worth, let's just say, $1 million. You know, the way inflation is going. So whatever you pay for that home is like 300,000. So if you only put in like 200,000, well, say you paid off 200,000 and then you sell it for $1 million. All you got is that 100,000 to pay off, and then the rest, you know, you keep for yourself, of cash. You know, so especially at a later age in life, that can definitely help you out. You can go somewhere, retire in the sun, you know, sit back on the beach and enjoy the fruits of your labor. What about you, Monique? What's the number? What?
7.
7. Okay.
So number 7 is going to be. Damn it. I forgot. Customization. Okay. So number 7 is going to be customization. I feel like when you are in a home, you can customize it to your liking. If you want to, you know, tear down a wall and add more closet space, or you want to change the scenery or the trajectory of your kitchen, you can do that. If you have a backyard, you can customize. If you want to add a kitchen, if you want to add a pool or a deck, you can do those things. When you live or when you're renting a home, even though some homes have yards and things like that, you still can't customize it to your liking. It's to that owner's liking.
Yeah, so you can make it your own, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, put your own touches, put your own paint, you know, things like that. Like she was saying, you know, change your bathroom, your kitchen. You know, just make it the way you like to have it instead of someone else doing it, right?
Right.
All right. What number was that?
You're on number 9.
I think I'm on number 8. Yeah, number 8. Yeah, number 8 is emotional and psychological stability. It's not
Okay, we gotta cut that part out. Okay. Okay.
Number 8, emotional and psychological stability. What I mean by that is we all been in apartments, or if you haven't been in apartments, I'll tell you about a little bit about apartments. If you're late on your rent, they're gonna put you out immediately, right? Not immediately.
They gotta give you at least, what, 45-day notice?
Okay, well you have 45 days to get out, so, right? 30 to 45 days.
45. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember one time I did that. I had the constable actually knock on my door because my rent was that late. So, but like Monique was saying, it's 35 to 45 days. They will be evicting you, right? You will be out on the streets. Versus having that stability of having a home where, you know, you have time. You know, if you get behind, you know, things happen in life. You might get behind on your lease or not your lease, but on your mortgage. You don't have anybody, you know, knocking on your door telling you you're going to have to get out in the next 35, 45 days. They will allow you, you know, to catch up. You know, you can catch up and you still have that peace of mind where you don't have to, you know, be worried about getting kicked out in, you know, next 15, 20 days, whatever it may be at that time, right? So you had a, you know, emotional stability. And also, I remember when I was young and my stepfather, he owned a home, and he owned 2 homes. One that we was living in and one that he was renting out. And his business had went bad back in the 90s, so we had to. He ended up foreclosing on the home we was living in, but we still had that other home that he was renting out. And so we asked the renters to leave, to vacate the premises, and we was able to move in. And, you know, so they gave us that, you know, emotional stability where we had somewhere to go versus not having anywhere else to, you know, not having anywhere to go and being on the streets. So that'll be my number 8, emotional and psychological stability.
Number 9 is going to be a yard and or a garden. So when you are a homeowner, sometimes you might like to garden. You might want to plant some, you know, orange trees or, you know, banana plants, and you have the opportunity to do that. If you have a yard, you can customize it again to your own liking. Some people have their backyard as their little safe haven, you know, their own private oasis.
Zen, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Like a Zen thing, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
waterfalls and everything in the back, you know, give you that peace, you know,
Mhm.
that you can't have in apartments, you know. You can't have that type of peace you won't receive from apartments. But yeah, I'm glad you said it, 'cause I always wanted a lemon tree. I don't know why, but I like lemons. But I think I would love to
Make
have
some lemonade.
yeah, yeah, fresh lemonade on on a summer day. You know, that'd be awesome. Fresh lemonade on a summer day. Okay, but number 10 is family gathering. So, like Monique was just saying, you got that lemon tree in the backyard, make some fresh lemonade, have some family gatherings that you wouldn't be able to do in apartments. Because in apartments most times you're gonna have a small space, right?
Mhm.
But in a home, you have a lot more space. Like we were talking about earlier, you have a backyard, you have a front yard. So just overall, just more space in general. You can have you some nice barbecues, you can have you some nice get-togethers. Some wine sitting down, some wine sittings, listen to some music. Whatever you like to do. So that's might be my number 10 is having some nice gatherings. Even like your holidays, your Thanksgivings, your Christmases. A lot of times, like we talking about, the apartments are very small. So having a house, you can have those nice family gatherings. You can have, your formal dining room where you can, have everybody sit down for Thanksgiving dinner, cut your turkey and everything like that. And then, everybody has space to move around, watch the game and things of that sort. So that'll be my number 10. You want to add anything to that?
No.
All
Thank you
right.
guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call on the number below. Thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.
And if you have any kind of questions, just, leave them in the chat. All right. Thank you.
He was going on and on and on about the family gathering. So I was like, I want to think outside that.
Oh, Jesus, a hater.
Meh.
Hater.